Since the first week in March, when we went virtual in Providence, our team has always tried to focus on keeping our secret sauce, our magic, right, of what it's like to be in person in our space, in the virtual space. So we really love this program that we kicked off in September, I believe, because, we want to replicate what it would be like if you walked into our beautiful space at 225 Dyer. So this is called Cultivating Innovation, Informal Conversations with Rhode Island's Economic Gardener. That would be me. And we invite community members, anyway, 11:30 to 1:30, like any Thursday, come for as little or as long as you can. And then we kick off our Cambridge programming at 1:30. So we, we always share what's going on in Cambridge as well, because it might be something that, you have meetings, you can hop onto ours from 11:30 to 12:30, but you have to hop off for a little while, but you might want to hop back onto Cambridge at 3. So this is a great way for us to just have a more kind of collaborative conversation. And we invite a lot of community members, like our friends at HealthSource RI, who I think I saw here. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's available, what you're up to over there at HealthSource RI?
I would love to. I also have Kristen Arison here, who is our sales director for HealthSource RI for employers. So for those of you who don't know who HealthSource is or who I am, I'm Robin Dione. I'm the communications director / chief public affairs officer at HealthSource RI. We are a state agency, and we are Rhode Island's the state of Rhode Island's health insurance marketplace. Just like Mass has Math Health, Connecticut has Access Health. We are here in Rhode Island to help connect people to low or no cost, high quality coverage through carriers in the state. So we are not an insurance agency or insurance company ourselves. We're a resource for people who are on the individual and family side. If you are uninsured and you're looking for coverage, or you want to maybe consider what your options might be, we're here to connect you to resources where you can do that. 80% of our customers actually do connect to some sort of financial assistance. And then we have a small business marketplace. We have about 12% of the market share in Rhode Island currently. Kristen, am I lying? It's 12%, right?
You are correct.
So we have 12% of the small business market share in Rhode Island, which means that we are one of the top performing small business marketplaces in the country. And Kristen can talk to you about that in a minute. So what we do on the individual and family side, we have an open enrollment period from November 1, and then usually it ends at December 31st, right around there. This year we extended due to COVID through January 23rd. So there's still a couple of days left. If you are a person who does not have coverage through an employer and or any other means at this time, now is the time to try to get enrolled. We have heard at the federal level that on January 28th, the Biden administration will be making an announcement of some kind about something related to the Affordable Care Act. So, which is, commonly known as Obamacare. That's what we are here to connect people with. So whether that is a longer open enrollment period, another open enrollment period that happens, or a special enrollment period. So if you are, employed by somebody now, and then you lose your job in March, obviously the open enrollment period for health coverage is over, but you would be able to sign up for coverage through the marketplace here in Rhode Island. We can help you do that. If you have that qualifying life event or any one of a number of other qualifying life events, which could be getting married, moving into Rhode Island for the first time, if you turn 26 and you lose coverage from a parent. So there are a number of ways that we can help you, and potentially even more ways going forward into 2021 and beyond, depending on what the new federal administration lets us do after January 28th. We'll know more about that. So
we're waiting for that information on many levels, right?
We are all waiting.
We're going to have you back for a longer session. This we love to call on our community members just for 2-3 minutes to share what's going on, and what you're doing is so important. So definitely keep us in the loop. And we need to, I see Diana on here. She's a founder out of Brown that has LapSnap, a great new company. So we have a lot of small business founders, small businesses. And, and mentors like Ron and I and Ed who, you know, can share this information. So it is really important information. So if anyone has any questions, we will be happy to connect you to Kristen and Robin.
Yeah, that would be great. We definitely would love to come back, especially after the 28th when we know more. We have so many different fact sheets that we create based on specific industries. So if you work in a certain industry in Rhode Island, we may have already started mailing industry specific postcards to you. We try to connect with people who are, you know, maybe they're 1099 workers at salons or acupuncturists. We send postcards out to licensees knowing that this is a field where people are largely uninsured because they're 1099
That's
workers.
awesome.
So we
Yeah.
do a lot of really targeted work like that. And we would love to come back, you know, even with our director and talk to you about that more in the future. But Kristen can give you, you know, a little overview about our employers program, which we've really worked hard to make sure employers have all the resources that they need during COVID right now.
Awesome. This session is only a half an hour, and we definitely try to keep it conversational. So I'd recommend too, Kristen, drop anything in the chat.
Absolutely.
So anyone who's interested can grab some information. But if you want to just do a quick, so because I have a few more people on the call.
30 seconds. Who are
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
Rhode Island for Employers. So we help small businesses, what is small business? It's less than 50 employees, provide affordable health insurance to their employees. So the benefit of working with the exchange is that we're able to provide multiple choices of carriers so that your employees are able to have choice. So we offer what is called full choice. So it allows your employees to pick the best benefits that work for them. We know that employees typically ask on a job interview about health benefits before they even ask salary. So we're trying to help Rhode Island businesses be successful by being able to be competitive and offer affordable insurance to them. So I will, like you said, I'll drop the best number to call. I'll put my contact as well as our website and our call center. And if anyone needs any more information, I'm more than happy to answer any and all questions.
That's awesome. Thank you both for being on. And if any of you don't grab it in the chat and then like later have someone that you want to share, you know, share Kristen's information with, just reach out to Amy or I and we'll get you Kristen's information. So thank you both for being on. Come back anytime, come back every time. Drop stuff in the chat. Let me know to call you out if something's new. Hopefully there'll be an extension. There's a lot going on here. I also see our friend Angela from the Center for Women in Enterprise, Rhode Island. You have some exciting, important programming going on. Do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Tuni. Thank you. For those of you who are not familiar with the Center for Women in Enterprise, we are a nonprofit economic empowerment organization. We are a women's business center funded in part by the Small Business Administration. So we are taxpayer funded, and we're part of a network of women business centers throughout New England. That is the Center for Women in Enterprise. And we are a resource to small business owners and aspiring small business owners in the community. We primarily provide live trainings and one-on-one consultations that run the gamut of, you know, your business interests and needs. So I'll drop my contact info in the chat if you have any specific questions, but my role is the COVID Business Recovery Project Manager. And right now we're really focused on this current round of PPP funding. So there are PPP loans available for both first draw applicants, if you've never received a loan before, and second draw applicants. So if you have received a loan, a PPP loan already, you are eligible for a second draw. There are slightly different rules for the first and second loan applications, but feel free to reach out to me for assistance. We have a great recorded webinar that we did last week with some quite a bit of info about this program. Despite what our name says, we work with business owners all throughout New England, not just women. So drop me a line and we'll we'll get you sorted with a PPP application. We're also about to host a webinar on the shuttered venue grants. If anybody on this call is
We're one of them, Angela.
What's that?
We're one of them. We're not eligible for different reasons, but
Right.
Our organization lost a significant amount of projected revenue because we're a shuttered venue site.
Yeah.
So we feel that.
It's really focused on venues that are in the entertainment industry. Think movie theaters, traditional.
So Trinity,
right?
Is Trinity one of them? And or Providence Performing Arts Center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A venues, yeah. It's venue is in the name of the grant. So if it's an organization that derives the bulk of its revenue from live events and ticket sales, then this is a grant that will be available to you. It is not compatible with the PPP program. So anybody who is applying for a shuttered venue grant should not apply for a PPP loan.
We have so many businesses in this state that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put my email in the chat, and if anybody would like to connect further, please feel free. Share it with your friends, your family. We're here to help.
Awesome. We're going to pivot a little bit. We have a great small business expert professor. I really love it when academia is supported by people with real world knowledge. So Ed is the small business doctor. He's been consulting for decades. That's okay to say decades, right, Ed?
Yeah, it's true.
Helping small businesses grow. And he's a professor at Bryant, which I love because he didn't just go to school, learn about it, and then teach it. He actually does it in the real world, which makes, in my opinion, the best kinds of teachers. So we took part in a program that you run at Bryant last year, and we were one of those that started pre-pandemic and continued to work with our group through the pandemic a little bit. Do you want to share a little bit about it, and then give out calls to action? Anyone here, like if anyone on this call, like this half hour is meant to share important information that our community will benefit from and let us know how we can help. So, and that's by dropping information in the chat or just saying it out loud. So Ed, do you want to talk just a little bit about the program and
Sure.
Let us know what you need?
Absolutely. Tuni, thank you very much for having me here today. I really appreciate this, and welcome to all of you. At Bryant University, our primarily second and third year students, all of those in the College of Business, take a course called Principles and Practices of Management. It's a introductory management course, and one of the hallmarks of this course is the students are divided into teams, between 5 and 6 people on a team, and they go out into the community and they perform a service learning project for businesses. Those businesses can be local, they can be distant, it doesn't have to be just in the backyard. And basically what they do is they cultivate, number one, the experience of being able to produce and to maintain a high-performing team. And for you all, the big thing is they come in, they support you in a project or development of a plan that you're really passionate about. Actually, the past semester, as Tuni referred to, we did have a chance to work with the Venture Café, and there was that interruption of circumstances there, unfortunately. Nonetheless, I'm here today to reach out to you folks and to tell you that this program is available. The students will be divided into teams and will be starting school on the 1st of February. The semester ends on the 7th of May. So approximately 14 weeks, they will have the opportunity to engage with a small business or large business in the area. And this is an invite to you who might be interested in partaking in this process to reach out to me for further information. I want to just tell you this much. It is not something that is a tremendous drain on the business themselves, okay? The students are there and are equipped to support you in any way you want. The degree of oversight and input that you provide is your call. Typically, the students and you, the sponsor, will create the project together, what you want it to be. everybody that I have worked with in the past, and Tuni, let me correct you, it's not my program, it's the management department's program. No, I just want to be forthright, okay? But everybody I've spoken to and worked with in the past, and my teams have worked with and otherwise, have been very, very appreciative because the information provided by a group of 5 to 6 business school students is really, it's just totally amazing. They provide a fresh perspective. They have great ideas. There's a lot to be learned from them, and they obviously have a lot to learn from you folks as well. So I too will put my information in the chat box here. And I encourage you to reach out to me if you want further information. Naturally.
Before we cut you loose, can
Yeah.
you just give like
Cut me
a
loose.
couple of brief examples of what student groups have worked on and with what kind of companies that might just make even more sense to those?
Okay. Well, historically, we had worked with nonprofits. Okay, let me just point this out. Historically, we were working with nonprofits because nonprofits typically have a greater need for resources like this and less access to financial capital and human capital. We have now expanded that to include the for-profit world where folks are engaged in implementing or trying to maintain any one of the 17 UN sustainable goals. If you're not familiar, I'll put that in the chat as well.
Awesome.
Examples of things that people have done. We had a team that was working with a medical group on Long Island. And what they did is they put together a campaign to try to educate the public about vaping and the dangers of it, okay? They worked with the local medical group, medical community there, and they came up with a campaign, a video, and an actual event that occurred so that they could get their message out to their community there. That's an example of what happened. In other cases, for specific nonprofits, some people have been looking for a development of a marketing plan or an expansion upon an existing social media campaign, not things like just posting, if you will, but something more substantive, something with a depth of value, not only in the immediate sense, but something sustainable. All these projects are designed with the team and the sponsors naturally, but we remind the students that we want you to go out there and give these folks something now and something that will last. And I always emphasize the journey versus the end point. So my students in particular will go out there, maybe not delivering the end point for you guys, but delivering a plan so you can go out there and make it happen. 14 weeks is a short period of time. It's not always enough to get it done, but my folks go in there with the intent of giving you something of value that if you can't implement it directly, you'll have a long-term ability to utilize it.
I have an idea, Ed. Jordan and I just came up with an idea. So make sure to drop your contact information and or information about the program. And
Sure.
I know Jordan and I will be reaching out to you, and
Okay.
And others on this in this session may have some ideas as well. So
Super.
Thank you for sharing this information. Thank you and the other professors for running this program. It's a great program. Real world experience is awesome. I see one of our amazing interns on here, Evelyn, who's a senior at Salve. She's unbelievable. Jordan was my intern at from Salve when I was at Innovate Newport, and he and I literally opened Innovate Newport together, and now he's a program manager here. So I love real world experience, and it helps us grow. I know I'm inspired by them on a daily basis, but it also gives them real life experience to say, oh, this isn't what I thought it was, or oh my gosh, I love this more than I even knew I would, and I'm gonna lean into it and dive deeper. So keep up the good work. Thank you for taking the time to be on today. I see other educators like my girlfriend Suzanne McDonald on here. She's gonna lead the next session. So Amy, why don't you talk about what we have going on today?
Absolutely. So today we are focusing on support for small businesses, as you probably guessed from the number of people that came through the informational session with Tuni, and if you've read the description. So this next session is in partnership with Newport Interactive Marketing. Suzanne McDonald will be leading this interactive and informational conversation on building email marketing campaigns for small businesses. Take it away, Suzanne.
All right.